doing the fishing, like is the boat, they wear the masks and they have the spoons. So one person has the mask and the spoon. Put your hand with the spoon in the ocean, but don't do anything yet. So stand close enough that you can reach the tub with your spoon. This group needs to be in that ocean. So put your spoon in that ocean. Yes. All at the same time. Yes. You are all fishing at the same time. Okay, when I say start, you can start fishing. When I say stop, you have to stop fishing. It's crucial. Yes? Is everyone ready? Spoons in the ocean. Nets out. Start fishing. Start fishing. Stop fishing! Stop fishing! Okay. Now, fishers, you will get a chance to innovate. Yes. So come towards me. I've got the innovations. I've got a slightly bigger spoon. You have to pay me 2 candies for it. Yes. You want a bigger spoon? Yes. I have a really, really big spoon. It's a 4 candies. And the biggest 5 candies. 5 candies. Yep.
How much is the next one?
4. It's a steep increase, right? But it's a bigger spoon. Yes, thank you. 5, right? Yes.
But you bought them.
What did you, 2? Yes.
Maybe you can buy 2 spoons.
Yes.
Can I have some?
What do you want? This spoon? This spoon? The biggest?
Ok, pe cea mai mare vrei?
This
Da, asta costă 5. 4. 4. This is 4, right?
5. This is 5.
This is 5.
This is 4.
This is 4.
This is 2.
Mai bine 4, că nu știm câte mai.
Can you buy more?
One for 4.
Can you buy multiple? You can also buy. Poți să cumperi mai multe. Și să le faci...
4. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Okay, so sorry. Spoons.
I can keep this one.
Yeah, if you want. Okay. Blindfolds. Everyone quiet. Blindfolds back on. Spoons in the ocean.
And the 30 seconds.
3, 2, now. Stop! 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 Okay. More innovations. More innovations. Anyone? More innovations. Same price. Same price. More innovations. Anyone?
Getting a restart here.
You want to innovate? Innovate? No? Okay, nobody innovate? Okay, then masks on. Masks on. Spoons in the ocean.
Sorry,
Oh.
let's upgrade a slightly bigger spoon.
Okay. Masks on. down. Spoons in the ocean. 3, 2, 1, start fishing. Hey, wait. You were empty. That's not how this game works. No.
You can catch more. But in the end, you have less.
Okay, thank you everyone. You can take your candies. You have emptied the seas and you can take your seats. We need some help. We need some help putting this table back to where it was before. You? It's done, yes. You take the candies you won and we will talk about it. We will talk about what happened. Is die niet leeg? Oh, wait. No. I thought the sea was empty. So this group can continue. Who was in this group? Okay, come back. Come back. The rest can sit down. This group can continue. Yeah, you all have the spoons that you had? Okay. Did you want to innovate?
We already innovating.
Okay. Had je erbij gegooid? Ja? Okay. Masks on. Spoons in the ocean. Spoons in the ocean, start. Okay. Great job. You have emptied the oceans as well.
Yay.
Okay, let's put this table back there. Alice, kan jij de tafel aan die kant pakken? Naar Max en Ed. That's okay. It's not so heavy. It's just a big, uncomfortable table. Okay. Anyone want some candy? Up. All good. I need the pointer thingy. Good. So, let's settle back down. What happened? The biggest innovation didn't get you anything. Okay, so the innovation wasn't tested well, probably, huh? Okay, too expensive. You stayed with a small spoon for the entire game. Were you happy with your small spoon? Okay. How many candies did you get? 7, 6? Wow, what a team. So why did all of you have to sit back down and they could continue? They fished with a smaller spoon, so what happened because of that? Fish in the ocean. What did you do? You fished everything out, and then you put your fish back, but that's not how it works, because once you get it out, you can't really put it back. No, that's not an option. So, was there a way you could have gained all our candy? Was there a way in which you would have won all the candy that we have? No, because not all we had candy in the bank. Not all the candy was in the tub, no.
Buy all the candy and sell them after with a higher price.
No, also not the way to go. In which way would you have gotten all our candy? What happened in between rounds?
Maybe without fishing in the first few rounds, because maybe you double the amount of what stayed in the...
Exactly, we doubled the amount. So if you kept something in the tub, the next round, the amount was doubled. So how could you have fished in the most efficient way and got all our candy? Leaving something in the tub. And how much would be most beneficial? Half? Yeah, exactly. So if you fish half, you would have gotten half back, and that would have continued until we have no more candies left. Instead, what did you do? Whoosh. So what happened? You didn't get any candy in the next rounds, because they don't reproduce if they're not there. Kind of the same for all animals. So that is fishing, and that is what happens if you fish without management. So it's a common good. Fish is a common good, and it replenishes itself. It's amazing. It's a great protein source that we can eat, but you have to fish half and not all. That is very important. But would it have worked if one of you in one of the tubs would have had this theory? No, why not? They would have gotten more in the first round, and you would still have an empty ocean. So how would you be able to do that? Agreeing, talking about it with each other. Did any of you had that idea? Like, we should discuss what's going on here. No, you all just went for it, right? We built up the tension. We were like, you're going to fish. Come on, let's fish some candy. Yes. And everyone went for it. Doesn't matter who I play this game with. I've played this game at the FAO with a lot of high-up people about fisheries management and fish safety and everything about fish. The tubs are empty. Sometimes 3 rounds, but after 3 rounds, all the tubs are always empty. Always. Doesn't matter who you are. So this is what we do. We maximize our own gain. And we don't stop and think about how that would be even better. Talk to each other to gain something with all of us. So if you... that is what we do when we have a common good. We all go for it. We want it. And we forget to talk about it. Also, you are all very fast to innovate. Where did that leave you? You had a lot of a big innovation at the start. How many candies do you have left now?
We only had 2.
Only 2, yeah. So the innovation didn't work, and you only had 2 candies left.
We skipped a step.
Was there anyone that innovated that had a lot more candies after? You did really well. I think you're the winner of this game. Nice. So it can help. But your ocean was also empty quite fast after that, right? After the innovations. So, like I said, fish is a renewable resource. It's not completely going to be gone if you leave some in the ocean. So you have to manage them. But it's difficult. On land, we can manage trees or forests or plants because we can count them. We know what half is. Fish, we don't see. So it's really difficult to say, this is half of the fish. So we can catch this. So there's a lot of research into that, and that's quite complicated research, and we try to explain this to the young fishers. And we will go through a little bit of that as well with this training. Because it's important to know when you talk about fisheries. People talk about overfishing. If a stock is not well managed, you will get overfishing. And that is fishing more than half of your tub. That is what we call overfishing. So smart use of the fish stocks in the sea. Do not harvest more fish than the amount that is produced. So only, like Cor said yesterday, only take that part of interest that you get from the bank and don't cut into your savings. There's a few stories in history where this wasn't done and it went quite similar as the tubs you showed us this morning. One is the cod fisheries in Newfoundland and Canada. And there was such a high pressure cod fishery that the whole stock collapsed. And it's a big example of failing management. The same with the herring in mostly the Netherlands. And then if a stock collapses, you have, of course, the fishers. They have an economic impact. And you see that in Canada, but also with the herring in the Netherlands, you see that whole villages disappear because their meaning of life was fishing. They were all doing something around the fishing. They say for every fisher on a boat, there's 10 people in the country working, doing something with the fishing. So there's a lot of people depending on that fishing. So when the cod fishing was completely closed off, you couldn't fish any cod anymore in Canada, there were a lot of bankruptcies. A lot of fishers had to stop. And the market is gone, the culture is gone. In the Netherlands, we have Katwijk and Scheveningen, which are villages that are built on herring. And if you come there now, the herring is still a thing, but it's a lot less. There were festivals and there was all this culture around the herring. But then there was a period that they couldn't fish the herring and all these festivals went away, this culture, people forgot about the herring. There's a lot of people that don't even know about herring in the Netherlands anymore. It's not in our culture anymore. And it was a very big thing. And it's the same with the cod in Canada. There were also a lot of cultural components on this. It also had a lot of ecological effects, because we showed you this yesterday. And if you take one out, it's really hard to predict what's going to happen. So what happened with the cod stocks was that if there's no cod, there's not a lot of shrimp or lobster eaten, because the cod eats the shrimp and the lobster. So those populations increased. But that has an effect of the food chain, because they are a different player that is suddenly becoming more. And this cod was gone, or a lot less. So the whole food chain changes. People were unemployed. There was a lot of immigration from the area, so people moved to other places to find a different job, because the jobs in cod were gone. And it was loss of identity, like I said, loss of traditions. And it is the same in the Netherlands with the herring. And there's probably examples to be found in your areas as well. I don't know them, but I think there is similar fish species that were fished so hard, the pressure was so hard, that the stock collapsed. Now, after the mortarium, you can see a stock increasing again. But what we saw with the herring, that it never came back to the status it was before we started fishing. And it's because the food chain completely changes. So other players get a bigger role and they get into this new balance. So there will be herring again, but it will be he will play a different role in the food chain. So that's very important that you realize when a fish is gone or almost gone, it's not only bad for that species and for us, because we cannot eat or sell it anymore, but it will change the whole dynamic. So what do we need? Rules, regulations, and agreements. And that's what you see in fisheries. Fishers don't want this to happen, because it's their livelihood we're talking about. So they make agreements. They're very happy to make agreements, because it means that everybody is doing the same, and then they can continue in the future. It's hard, though, to get everyone on the same page, and especially because fish don't really like to stay in one country. They don't know boundaries of countries. So you can do really well in Portugal, but then maybe in France they have a different ID. So that's also good that we have European rules and regulations. Then you still don't have all of the ocean, of course, because there's more than in Europe. But at least you have a common ID of what you want with the fish. So we have some international agreements, and that is that all the countries around the world take this maximum sustainable yield into account. And a lot of countries do this very strictly, and a lot of countries don't. Does anyone know what the maximum sustainable yield is? No. Well, that is exactly what we just did. So if you fish half out of your tub, that is your maximum sustainable yield. Only the interest. And we will we'll get back to that. There's also management through an ecosystem approach. What would that be? If you look at the cod story, what would be an ecosystem approach for managing the cod or herring?
Looking at what the cod lives from and looking at the animals or species that live on the cod and then taking them into account.
Exactly. Making sure that all the parts of the ecosystem are doing well. Because a lot of the times, for instance, in the Netherlands with plaice, we eat a lot of plaice, we catch a lot of plaice, it's the flatfish. There's other things at play than just fishing pressure. There is climate change, for instance, has effect on the plaice as well. So looking at the whole ecosystem, what it's doing, and if it's doing well, you can predict if a species that is important is doing well in this ecosystem. So is the food there? Is the right temperature there? Are all the things surrounding this place we like to catch, are they correct? Are they the way they should be for the place? So that's the ecosystem approach. It's more holistic, I guess. Looking at biodiversity, when you have higher biodiversity, a system has more different kinds of species. It doesn't mean that they have more species, more organisms. The amount of organisms doesn't matter, but the amount of different kinds of species matters. And a system with high biodiversity is stronger, can handle more climate impact, or a species coming into a system and disrupting it. It happens less in high biodiversity systems. So we find those important. We try to protect them. And then there is some other guidelines from the UN or the FAO, the Food and Agriculture Organization, to prevent bycatch, for instance. Because we talked about it yesterday, we don't want to catch the big fish because, well, it's not very efficient in terms of protein. So sharks like to leave them in the ocean. Also better for the whole food chain and the ecosystem again. Already said this. Then in Europe, we have the Common Fisheries Policy. And this is an agreement in Europe since 1983. And it covers a lot of points on how we deal with fleet subsidies, fleet size, how big your nets can be, how big the holes in your nets can be, because that determines what kind of fish you catch. Bycatch that you catch. So on bycatch, we call things that we don't want to catch, like sharks or other animals. Or we call it the small fish that are babies. We don't want to catch babies because they have to grow first to be the big fish. Fishers don't want to catch the babies because it doesn't sell as well. You can't, sometimes you even have to pay a fine if you bring it to shore. So you don't want to catch it. So selectivity on what you catch is very important in fisheries. And They also look at the importance of nature, so this ecosystem approach. And that's all, locked down in this common fisheries policy. And I wanted to ask Cora a little bit about how Europe does more on the fisheries management and also on the social part, because that's also a very important part of fisheries management. And it's not in the common fisheries policy.